Introducing the Perimenopause podcast, a show dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of achieving optimal health naturally as you transition into perimenopause and menopause. Get ready to join your host, Dr. Seth Yates, an experienced naturopathic doctor, acupuncturist, and kinesiologist, as he shares his wealth of knowledge acquired from over 40,000 patient visits and 15 years in working with perimenopausal females. Welcome to the Perimenopause podcast.
Hey, this is Doc Yates, and welcome to the Perimenopause podcast, brought to you today by ablehealth.us. And today, I'm just going to tell a quick little story because literally I was speaking with this patient and she pretty much blew my mind. She would come into my office. She was extremely frustrated. She had gone to see her medical doctor about her concerns with perimenopause, changes with her cycle, and then this weight gain that despite her diet and exercise, her medical doctor looked her straight in the eye and said, "Your hormones have absolutely nothing to do with your weight." And then he was like, "Maybe I should just recommend a diet app for you." And she almost lost it because she literally just spent the last 15 minutes explaining to him the diets that she had been doing and the exercise that she had been doing, and it was like he had already checked out. It was actually crazy. So let me go through what she was dealing with. She's tried diet and exercise. She's had increased anxiety over the years. Again, her medical doctor said just to go find a diet app, and she was devastated. So what we did is we assessed everything. We went through, checked her estrogen levels, checked her progesterone levels. We also determined that she had some mild constipation in the assessment. So it was really straightforward. We switched her diet a little bit to make her. And again, I didn't do any calorie reduction. We didn't do any switcher to keto or anything along these points. It was literally we just added fiber. We added things. We got her on some progesterone cream, balanced her progesterone levels out, and then we started something that we use. We have two names for this product. It's called Estrodom or hormone balance capsules. And this is just to help the body detoxify excess estrogen metabolites. That makes a big difference in perimenopause when it comes to weight loss. And we also added a little bit of something of a magnesium citrate powder that she could use before bed. So I'm a huge fan of magnesium. You probably already know this from listening to my other podcasts. And there's two forms of magnesium that I use. If I'm using magnesium just for the point of stress, and that's it, or muscle tension, and that's it, then I'm using magnesium glycinate, or it's a bisglycinate. But if I'm using magnesium and there's like a mild constipation or even a moderate constipation going on, then I'm using a magnesium powder, and it's going to be a magnesium citrate. So that's what we used in this case. So we used that product. It's called SuperMag. And then, despite the fact that she'd been struggling with this for months, within 3 weeks of doing this, she was down 8 pounds. Her bowel movements were daily. She was feeling much more calm. So literally, with everything that she was doing, she was putting in all this effort. She was, I would say, 90% there in terms of doing what she needed to do. She just needed the help to get her hormones balanced, which she was seeking advice for, only to then be told that she just needed a diet app. So here's some key takeaways. This is a very short episode today, but I really just wanted to share this. So this is very straightforward, and this is what you should be recognizing and then convincing your doctor that they need to recognize. In perimenopause, your hormones change. The symptoms associated with this during this time are also related to this hormonal change. Weight gain is in fact one of these symptoms, and correcting the hormones can help you correct the weight. Now, would I say, she could just correct her hormones and then, go eat fast food every day and still lose weight? No. But the thing is, that's not the case. She was already eating well. She was already exercising. And then in her case, hormones was the only missing piece. That's why she was 90% of the way there. So treating hormones is the root cause. I had another client come in yesterday who saw her medical doctor, then was referred to an endocrinologist. So at this point, we're thinking, well, this person specializes in hormones, so therefore, she's on the right track. The endocrinologist gave her about 5 minutes, and then at the end it was like, oh, by the way, we don't actually treat your hormones, but we can manage the side effects of perimenopause. So at least she was admitting that perimenopause could cause the effects, but she had no intention of treating the root cause of the effects. She wanted to treat it with medications. And the medication suggestions were as such. We have the options of using antidepressants. We can use beta blockers, which are heart medications that slow your heart rate, or we can use anti-seizure medications like gabapentin. And my jaw dropped, and the patient told me that her jaw had just dropped as well. Because first of all, she didn't come in for the actual concern of a rapid heart rate, seizure issues, feeling depressed, or it was mind-blowing. And then to think that you're using those medications which have such a strong side effect profile, a lot of the side effects for that actually are weight gain. So, it literally makes zero sense. So, I'm afraid you cannot make assumptions anymore. I guess maybe that's the point of this episode. Don't make assumptions, but you know that you have to treat the root cause, which means if you're dealing with hormones, you have to treat hormones, and it's straightforward. We can figure out the balance, especially when in perimenopause, when literally the only thing you're going to have to dealing with is progesterone. It makes it very straightforward. So I hope this shed a little bit of light. And if any of you guys are out there and you have been feeling frustrated with the advice you've been giving, maybe this will give you a few more answers and help guide you in the right direction on your journey towards hormonal health in perimenopause and menopause. So, without further ado, this is Doc Yates signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to the Perimenobliss podcast. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and visit perimenobliss.com for more valuable information on how you can thrive during your transition through perimenopause. Join our community of like-minded women who are dedicated to achieving optimal health naturally, and stay up to date with the latest tips, tricks, and advice from Dr. Seth Yates. And we'll catch you on the next episode of the Perimenobliss podcast.